You are live. Am I live? Am I live? Because I guess it's been too long since I've done this. All right, guys. Well, I guess I am live. Uh, I know I've been away from this for a good minute. My apologies to everybody for not being here present. Uh, as many of you guys know, that a lot of things has happened the last, I don't know, couple of months. So with all these things happening in the last few months, it's kept me away from going into this channel. I always say I love this channel because this channel is really just dedicated to the people. You know, Zapata Vive, yo, what's up? So this channel has always been dedicated for the people. You know, And as far as I'm concerned, I don't care too much about if somebody's a somebody, if you have a following, if for me, all of you guys are people as important as the next man or woman. And again, apologies for not being here. I mean, you guys saw a lot of things happen throughout the months, which has kept me away from being on here. Big Rube, what up, man? Thank you for coming by. Thank you to everybody that's here. I'm here because I feel like now is the time for me to come back to this channel. Me and the Jedi have been talking, and he wants to come up with a few new projects for this channel. You'll be seeing it because we're gonna start doing some content out there on the streets. Because as many as you guys know, I'm on the streets, boots to the ground. Yeah. But anyways, you guys will see eventually when we put it out. But for the most part, a lot of things have happened. You know, Tony A the Wizard. He went on hiatus for a good minute. He really had to go through you know, the he had to go through the trials of wondering if he should stay on YouTube, should he pursue it, should he give it up, is he done with it all? Naturally, I told him, no, don't quit. You're not done. You got a lot of shit to do. A lot of people want to see what you give to the culture, in a sense. Aldo Hernandez, big up north. Hopefully, the other podcasts don't get canceled tonight. Well, I hope not. Boo Boo, what up, Boo Boo? No, no, I don't think so. Hopefully I make it there on time because I should have already been there setting up, and that's on me. LA traffic, guys, it's horrible. Only 6'4" is todo, compa. Yes, sir. So, okay, as I was saying, so Tony A was in the process of debating for quite a few months what he was gonna do next, and I had always been telling him, don't quit, bro. There's a lot of people that need more shining. And honestly, with the way podcasts are going, if you could call it that, I mean, it's gotten pretty bad. It's gotten pretty bad. I mean, you got people that got marked out, you got people that dropped out, you got people that just disappeared. You don't know where they're at. And you got a lot of treachery. It's crazy. It's been crazy. That's why I've been keeping my head low. I want to see where the chips land, and see where everything goes from here on. No name. Our raza is always targeted because we are Native Americans. Yes, yes, we are. We are targeted because we are the rightful heirs of these lands. And if all of us started to believe in that because it's true, then we will become a powerful source that would reclaim all of this back. Because just because you wrote a piece of paper with your name on it stating that land is yours, doesn't mean it really is yours. It's just a piece of paper that you know, wrote. How can you claim something just because you wrote it on a piece of paper, But we didn't come over no motherfucking land bridge. We came over nowhere. We were always here. Our blood was born here. These lands created us. Just like the European land created the whites, just like the African lands created the blacks, just like the Asian land created the Asians and Russians, I suppose, because they're in the same continent. But yeah, we're 100%. We are the rightful heirs of these lands. Only 6'4" cloud is one hell of a drug. Yes, it is one hell of a drug, and you guys have seen a lot of cloud chasers out there. They are chasing like a motherfucker. And I gotta say, I mean, as amusing as it is to see a lot of these people, get taken down a notch, embarrassed, marked out, cussed out. The only thing that won't happen is a beatdown because they will never show up for one. Except me, I would show up for one. I think you guys have seen that so far. But only 6'4" thoughts on ICE deporting. Something's blocking it. Deporting because of their skin color. Yes, only 6'4". I am totally glad you said that because that is something that has been going on in my mind. That we have become the targets again. I remember I did a Chicano Tubes show and we were talking about this, and I had told him specifically. I told him, okay, all right, Mikey, say Trump wins. You know what's gonna happen next? And I told him that. You know what's gonna happen next? They're gonna start deporting us. And I'm not talking about immigrants. I'm talking about us, brown US citizens. They're going to come get us. And I told him on his show, what are you gonna do when the government knocks on your door, tells you and your family have to go with them, and they try to deport you? What are you gonna do? You guys notice a lot of these Trump supporters that were Raza are not pushing that Trump narrative anymore. Are you guys noticing that? I'm noticing that. I'm noticing that they're being very, very low key about the whole Trump stuff. Why? Because some of these guys are as brown as me, if not browner, and they know that there's already been like 2 or 3 cases where they try to deport us. U.S. citizens, brown U.S. citizens, they tried to deport us. It was that scene from Born in East L.A. I don't know where you learn how to speak English so well, but you belong in Mexico. That's the fucked up part is, because I've been saying, you know what, you can't prove that Trump is a racist, but you could definitely prove that the people under him are racist because they are literally targeting brown people. I mean, we're back to that third. This is the third time they do this to us, where they're not saying it, but the proof is in the pudding. Actions speak louder than words, and they're only targeting us to deport. It doesn't even matter. We tell them, bro, we're here. We're from the U.S. I was born here. This is my high school. I went here, here, here. Nope, I don't believe you. You look like a Mexican. That's what they say. And again, and this is the part that about being brown. I mean, it doesn't matter where you're from. You're always gonna look like a Mexican. And it sucks because when they say it, it's like a disdain. It's like it's a dirty word, you know, to say somebody's a Mexican. I don't know. Let's see. Only 6'4". ICE does not go after black, white, Asian immigrants. You're right. They don't. They really don't. I think there was a case in San Diego where they got a Canadian. I'm not too sure on the details on that, but that's I don't know. Maybe he's brown also. They just happen just to say he's Canadian. They didn't really say his ethnicity. Zapata Vive said, those who voted better hop on that bus. Zapata Vive also said, he anti-indigenous colonialism, nothing new. Yeah, it's funny. Also, I think he put it on his social media platform. I forget the name about it, but he says, he's tired of looking at the state of New Mexico that is named after Mexico. So this guy wants to call it New America. And I always said that was funny. It's funny how the U.S. is named after the continent. Like, you guys really couldn't come up with a name. You guys just say, you know what, let's just call it U.S. United States of America. You know. Not like Mexico, where it's United States of Mexico. Risky business in the house. And Carlos Macedonio. My bad if I messed that up. Love you also, man. Trip on this. Certain states are checking if truck drivers can speak fluent English. If they don't won't let them drive. Yeah, I heard about that. I saw a clip of another truck driver actually talking about that. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Of course they're gonna do that. Only Spanish, right? Not Armenian, not Chinese, just Spanish. I'm like, what the hell, man? If it's not that we're brown, it's the fact that we speak Spanish. Aldo Hernandez says, Norbs, are you converting to a flat earther? Uh, you know what? I don't believe that the earth is round. And honestly speaking, I see more evidence that the earth is flat. I mean, it is really difficult for me to, I always base my beliefs on facts. And every time, the only one that shows us that the Earth is round is NASA and the U.S. government. Aside from that, I don't know too many international governments that indicate that the Earth is round. It's only a European thing and the NASA thing, and we all know that NASA was founded by Germans, by the Nazis and the U.S. So it's really tough to believe, you know, them, especially after just going down the rabbit hole. It's like you got to ask yourself, am I going to believe these guys, or am I just going to look at the earth for what it is and realize that we have not broken through that barrier? As much as they want to say, we haven't. I don't know what it is that they're showing us. There's only them that's getting these images. I'm pretty sure the Chinese are wondering, like, what the heck? How are these guys getting these images? We can't get shit. Other than let's see, Zapata Via Goofy, KKK colonizers. Yeah, for the most part. Oh shit, Two Face Entertainment in the house. What's up? But yeah, I thought that was crazy that they're asking the truck drivers if they speak English and stuff. You know, it's crazy because again, we're at that point again. We're on the Operation Wetback 2.0. You know, they're doing it all over again. They're making sure that they only go after us, the brown people, the Spanish speakers. They're making sure that they come only for us, and they're not even hiding it. And thank God for social media because that's the only reason why we're finding out that you brown U.S. citizens are getting detained by ICE. That's crazy. Luckily, because of social media, we find these things out quicker. If this was in the 90s, we wouldn't even have known these are happening. They would have gotten as many of us as they could and deported us, messed up our lives, and we wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Because who's gonna believe them, you know? But now because of the internet, people can reach out to each other a lot faster. This is why I love the internet. This is why I love technology because we have the ability to communicate with each other a lot faster in real time. Other than this, thanks for your feedback. Same here on the flatters. Hey, all right. Zapata Viva says Operation Whiteback. I heard this phrase. England didn't send us their best. Let me say that again. England did not send us their best. It's funny. Australia was known for the country that England sent their criminals. But when you look at Australia, you don't see anybody being racist. You don't see anybody, you know, trying to eliminate the Aborigines. You don't see any of that. You see a lot of peaceful, happy Australian people. So maybe history is lying to us. Maybe they didn't send their criminals to Australia. Maybe they sent their honest ones, the ones that they didn't want to do what the English want and conquer all these places. Maybe they sent them to Australia, and then they send the genocidal maniacs to the U.S. Who knows? Who knows? Alfred, that's why we need to protect our people and each other. We need to do something. Well, you know what? I'm glad you said that because I was recently on a TikTok live with a lot of individuals that all of them are They all put themselves as indigenous people, different tribes, and they were debating like, why is it that we can't unify? Well, what's the problem with not being able to unify? Well, what is our major problem keeping us from doing this? So naturally, I went in there. I joined their live. I think I had to wait like an hour before I was able to speak because everybody, I didn't know how it worked. So I was just there waiting for, I guess, for them to call me, say my name. And they did. And for the most part, and you guys let me know what you think about this, because I told them, you know what? I love that we have history. I love that we know that stuff, that we appreciate it, that we keep it, and that, we treasure it. But we need to decide as a whole what language we're going to focus on to communicate with each other. Because right now, the two major languages that we can use at our disposal will be Spanish and English. If we as a people can figure out which one of these two languages we will focus on, that would allow us to communicate with each other from North America all the way to South America. Now I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say we're probably heading more towards Spanish because South America is majority Spanish, but a lot of people are learning English down there also. And I would say learning Spanish is a lot harder than learning English. I feel like that's a thing. For the most part, I would feel a lot more at ease if everyone spoke English, so we could all communicate. Because that's our problem. We can't communicate with each other properly because we don't know if we're supposed to use our tribal language, we're supposed to use Spanish, or we're supposed to use English. And a few of them kind of found me on it. I think a few of them took it as we shouldn't even speak our tribal language, which I told them, no, I'm not saying don't quit your tribal language, keep that. But I'm saying if we want to, actually communicate with each other as a whole, in the to go towards unification, we're going to have to choose English or Spanish because those are the language that pretty much took over these lands, and then we made it our own. So we have to decide as a whole what language to go and focus with that language to communicate with our brothers and sisters down to South America. Let's see. Let me read some of this. Sorry if I'm not reading your comments, guys, because I'm technically driving. I don't want to die on the road or crash. Let's see. Alfred said, Norbeez, we need more Taco Bell. Yes, we do. We definitely do need more Taco Bells. They got a lot of new items. Try out the chicken nuggets. Aldo Hernandez already beat me to it. Yeah. Okay, he says it's trash. I have not tried the chicken nuggets yet, so I don't. Let's see. Let's see. Oni64 said Australia is like Florida. I hope not, because then that just means there's a lot of meth over there. And that'll be messed up. Bulldog Face says, saludos to all the chiclosos. Hey. Oni64 says, Norby, what happened to the movie Tony A had in mind to make and take place in Inglewood about vampire? That would be dope. He's still got a lot of projects in the bag. I'm just glad he brought back Rhodium. I'm happy he brought back Rhodium because, it's the platform where he has great conversations with artists and real conversations, not like, oh, so did you ever bang? Who are your ops? Did you ever shoot somebody? Stupid ass questions like that. And that we don't need to know these things or ask these things. Let's see. Alfred said, I'm going to join the Taco Bell unit ready to serve. Hells yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. Always support. You know what? Like I said before, the main reason why I love Taco Bell so much, because I grew up very poor with my family. And when we needed to all eat, in the restaurant, like most people do, Taco Bell was always there offering very good prices to big families. And you guys know Mexicans have big families. It gets pricey even back then. So it always held a special place in my heart that, even to this day, it's a very affordable restaurant compared to other places. I mean, you go to Burger King, the Big Mac combo costs like $13 now. That's crazy. I get a Lux box at Taco Bell for like $8 because we drink tea. American Cholo, Broken Grog. Oh man, I can't read all that. Why you still hanging out with Mars, fool? Well, you know what? I hanged out with Marv and I worked with him. I made a commitment when we started that channel that we will work together. You know, the thing that happened with him, you know, that was unfortunate. It was. You know, it's not like I'm saying, oh well, I can't say it's not wrong. It was wrong, and he admits it that it was wrong, and he took total responsibility, and that's the part people don't take accountability, and he did. Because I'll say it right now, if he didn't take accountability, I probably wouldn't be there. But you know, Marvelous is a man of his word. He took accountability. He took the shots. He took the heat. He walks the streets. He knows if somebody wanted to do something to him for that reason, that they're gonna do it. But if that had happened, at least he knew that he took accountability. Because that's something a lot of these cocksuckers out here would not do. They will not take accountability for their actions, for what they've done in the past. He did. He proved to me and to the rest of us that, you know, he was willing to take whatever came his way. And I think you guys saw a lot of motherfuckers came at him. A lot of fucking motherfuckers. A lot of cowardly motherfuckers came at him. And but I think you guys have seen that those people are they're just I can't even say it. Let's see. Sabata Viva says a lot of fools act hard to our own people, but bent over enthusiastically for white supremacy. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Risky businesses, European Americans graped free generation land and bought it for pennies. But that's the thing. Who it was never anybody's to sell. That's the part that I keep telling people. It was never anybody's right to sell. We, the people that are from that can claim it, we can claim it. These people that came on the boat should not have any right to have claimed land that was never theirs or their forefathers. They have no rights to these lands. I don't care how many pennies they paid for it. You just learn both. You can just learn. Yeah, we can learn both, but for the most part, I think as a unification, we got to choose either English or Spanish. But like I said, it's probably more leaning towards Spanish because South America is pretty much all Spanish except for Portugal and I mean except for Brazil because in Brazil they speak Portugal for some reason. But the most part, all of South America is Spanish, and we really need to be able to communicate with them. Let's see. America said, learn the best. Learn both Spanish and English. In the Europe, they can speak like three languages. I do. I definitely do believe that they have a lot of time and a lot of stolen money that they get the benefit of being able to do something like that. All right, that generation of wealth was robbed. Norby, what's your opinion on Mega Beta Man letting some guy grab his wiener? Well, I'm not gonna lie, guys. That's probably the gayest thing I ever seen. I don't know why he would let another man grab his wiener and then take a picture on top of that. Mind you, the guy that grabbed his wiener was the guy that did a stunt where he ate, from what I hear, poop from a diaper. He ate poop from a diaper. That was the same guy that grabbed his wiener and took a picture. It boggles my mind. Why would you do something like that? Bulldog, Bulldog phase. We should speak the language of los chiclosos. Oh shit! Hey. Let's see. Only 6 says, have you ever thought of making a short film? Yes, I have. But the thing is, when I think of making short films, they're all pretty much sad. And you know why they're sad? I watch a lot of anime, And a lot of these fucking, I don't know if you guys watch anime, but a lot of these fucking animes are fucking sad. So when I think of a story, I think like, fuck, I want to make motherfuckers cry. But like, like in a human way, not like in a gay way or something like that. Not that it is gay, but I'm just saying. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. Wait, Mega Beta Man thinks. Wait, what did he say? Mega Beta Man thinks that the Mossad is after him. Laughing my ass. At Mega Beta boy has psychosis. Yeah, it's unfortunate that he feels that way because his as far from what people tell me, his kid ran away twice from his home, and I thought that was wild. That you know, if your kid is doing that, and you need to not worry about doing fucking podcasts and talking about conspiracies, bro. Worry about your kid. Let handle that part. You know, I don't. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if most of you guys know, but he said it himself. His son has autism. Has a few medical conditions, and that are important. And he needs a full time parenting. Uh, so I hope he just takes care of that instead of talking about some weirdo shit like the Mossad are after him. I'm pretty sure they got a lot of bigger fish to fry in like Iran. Let's see, nameless. I lost to know what's been happening. Well, a lot have been happening, but just rewind back. All Hernandez says is Marvin Brandon ever going to do a collab? That's a good question. They did one collab, I think, for Freaky Tales. I think for Freaky Tales, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they were in the same one together. Let's see. Shout out to Berserk. Hell yeah, Berserk was fucking wild. That fucking manga is fucking crazy, man. Shout out to Berserk. Let's see. The Mossad has bigger issues. Finds some LGBTQ guy. Yeah, for the most part, Mossad's definitely, yeah, they got a lot of bigger fish to fry out there. I mean, the Mossad, they go after countries. They don't go after fucking some podcaster that I don't even know what that guy is anymore. Yeah, it's crazy. That guy's. I definitely hope he gets help with trying to get clout. But yeah, for the most part, that's pretty much what it is, bro. I'm glad I did this live. I've been doing a lot of other people's lives, and I'm like, I feel bad because I'm like, wait, why am I not on my own channel doing my lives? I'm here, everybody else's channel doing their lives, and for the most part, I love doing their lives because they have their message to their audience. But for me, this, like I said, this channel was more dedicated for people, for you guys, for us, for the roasters, for the normals, for the people that we don't have some sort of like career, or we don't like like in the music industry and the movie industry. We're just regular ass people. I mean, I work with all these people, but I'm not in their industry. I just work with them. I'm the guy that just helps them to share their thoughts and their ideals. That's why I'm there. But this channel specifically was for me, you guys, the people that we talk our shit. I have my own trolls here that troll me. We troll each other. I mean, we've had quite a good time on here, and I aim to bring that back because it's crazy because a lot of for the most part, I want to help everyone except myself, and that sucks because I made a channel to reach out to you, all of you guys, and here I am in other people's channels, you know, helping them out when I owe you guys, you know, lives where we could all hang out here and talk and talk shit and just shoot the shit pretty much. Let's see. Hey Norris, West Coast Graffiti is back on YouTube. No way, is he back on YouTube? I saw him at an event for this rapper called De California. He did an event for himself and some of the artists that he works with. And I saw him right there. He was recording. I said, "What's up?" to him, like in a, "Hey, good to see you, man." And thankfully, there's no animosity between us. I can see him. I can shake his hand. I could say hi. How you been? You good? I couldn't really talk to him because I was actually working that event, and so I really couldn't approach him to actually have a conversation with him. But I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's back. It sucked that a lot of these people were making fun of him while he lost his channel. I mean, people fuck up, and you don't kick people when they're down. I could have easily kicked down a lot of these cocksuckers while they were down, and they're still down, and I could still make fun of them. But I don't want to do that because they start crying and then they start calling their buddies to call me or to approach me to ask me to take shit down on their behalf. So, you know, I'm going to let the world take care of them because I really don't need people coming at me for them because they're too cowardly to tell me to my, they're too cowardly to tell me themselves. But that's a story for another time. Oh shit, West Coast Reader's back. Damn, remember the electric bike videos he posted? Yeah, I you know what? For the most part, even though I wasn't talking with, well, it's not that I wasn't talking with him. He was the one that decided to not talk with us, and I respected that. But that doesn't mean I stopped supporting the guy. That doesn't mean I was hating on him. Because for the most part, I really do want our people to win, and he had his own content, he had his own lane, and I appreciated him for that. People that can do that. Shit happened, unfortunately, but for the most part, I'm glad he's back. So shout out to West Coast Graffiti. Give him a follow. Only 64 says they're making an electric pickup truck like the old Ford Ranger called the Slate Truck. Oh, that's cool, but I'm pretty sure they already have an electric pickup truck from another company. I think it's called Rivera, some shit like that. But I don't know if you guys heard, but Toyota is making a fucking $15,000 truck, pickup truck. $15,000. That's just a trip. I can't wait to see it because I hear a lot of good things about it. So that's gonna be dope. Can you imagine a Toyota pickup truck for $15,000? Those motherfuckers run forever. Let's see. It's supposed to be a fully customized, backed by Amazon. Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos. He's in trouble, right? Trump. Trump and the White House are mad at him. I don't know what he did. I gotta look into what he did because they're pissed off at him. Well, they're pissed. Yeah, they're pissed off at him. I need to find out why. Let's see. Have grocery prices gone down? Is there money ground going around? Risky business? No, the grocery prices have not gone down. The egg prices have not gone down. And I recently heard somebody tell me that in Texas, the egg prices have not gone down either. So I'm like, where are all these people taking pictures of these low egg prices in the country? Because it's some bullshit. These motherfuckers are still $9 a dozen. What the fuck? Poison One, what is the West Coast YouTube channel? I looked, I can't find it. Oh, that's a good question. Hey, if you know what his channel is, put it on the live chat. Only 64 says, no matter who is president, prices will never go down. Fuck. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, man. When all these companies, they have a taste of so much money now, it's hard to say, you know what, maybe we'll pull back a bit and we're going to take it easy on the people and, lower the price. I don't know. Capitalism is a bitch. That's for sure. It's called LBC Basher. Man, I don't know about that name. Is Tony still rocking with Marlins? Of course he is. Funk Machine, I miss you singing with Norbeez and Tony. I know, right? I miss that too. Yeah, yeah, Marvelous and Tony. Yeah, yeah. You know, the thing is, like, we all talk to each other. We all call each other. You know, even though we're not on video or live with each other, we all every week talk to each other to update ourselves with each other because I mean we've been talking to each other for more than 3 years now, so we definitely developed a friendship, a bond, maybe even a brotherhood in a sense. So yeah, we definitely talk to each other. Brum, 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 brum. Gas prices never went down. You know what? I was in India. The gas prices there are down, but I think the gas prices there are down because it was an Indian reservation, and I think that I don't know. I guess they charge cheaper at Indian reservations. So if you guys are near India, go to an Indian reservation and go get your gas there because it'll be a lot cheaper. With that being said, I think I'm pissing off people over here. My bad. But yeah, guys. I mean, oh yeah. Well, the gas price in India, I think it's India. Yeah. That's like all the way by Palm Springs. The gas price was $3.19 for the lowest one. And I'll tell you guys, I got the lowest one. Ice Basher 78. Okay. I'm waiting for Drinking with the Wizard for you and Tony. Man, I don't know about that. Hey, shout out to Lady V. She just dropped I think she dropped an EP or she dropped some tracks. So make sure to follow her because she's doing her thing. I'm loving her grind right now because she's pushing for music videos, tracks. She's a dope rapper from LA. So if you guys can do me a favor, give her a follow. Carlos, dang, I'm late. What's up, Norbert? You are late, but that's cool because I'm gonna start setting up because I just got it marvelous. So I'm going to start setting up right now so we could do marvelous minds. And I appreciate if you guys could come through and hang out with us. All right. So with that being said, I will see you in the next live, which will be soon. Thank you, everybody that came through. Much love to all of you. Much blessings to all of you.